Hi everybody, welcome back to the Seesaw and another week of meals. So we're starting the week this week, Monday night, with a bit of a treat. We've got fish sandwiches, so a bit like fillet fish burgers at McDonald's, really. So we've got the ciabatta buns, which I've just warmed in the oven, so they're nice and soft and not really toasty. I haven't toasted them, I've just warmed them. I've got the peri-peri mayonnaise just squirted on mine. Caleb's got regular mayonnaise. I'm imagining Toney might have the peri-peri too. I've got some lettuce on the bottom there and some tomatoes. And then we've got the fillet of fish. Caleb, can you just pass me the box from the fish over there, just so I can show people what we actually used for the fish. These are from Aldi. These are really tasty. They're the tempura battered fish burgers. And they are really meaty. So, as you can see, they are quite thick. With the tempura batter on, so it's nice and crispy. And then I've got a little bit of sliced avocado on the top of mine because I just fancied that with the fish. And then I've got some fries or chips done in the active fryer with some of the Spice and Tice chips and wedges seasoning on them, so that's just given them a nice colour. So off to enjoy this to start off our week on a Monday night. Hi everybody, so it is, no it's not Monday, it's Tuesday evening, and tonight we've got, I'm calling it pork jambalaya. It's not a true jambalaya, but it's similar, it's a rice dish, so it's close enough. And I put cheese on top of mine before I filmed it. So all this is some onion and red pepper and some garlic, just cooked in a little bit of oil for a few minutes to soften up. I then added some pork loin steaks, which I cut into chunks, slices, and then also in there I have got a chorizo, like a ring chorizo that I've sliced up into quite thick slices, and I put that in. You can see plenty of that here in Caleb's plate. So the ring chorizo, like that. Cooked that all together for about 5 minutes or so. Added in 2 teaspoons of Cajun seasoning, a can of chopped tomatoes, 450 ml, so about a pint of chicken stock, and then about a cup of just water. Then once that came up to a bubble, I stirred through 400 grams of long grain rice, brought it up to a boil, turned it down to a simmer, popped a lid on the pan and let it cook away for 10 minutes. Then I took the lid off and let it bubble away for another 10 minutes and just stirred it all together. And so it's a big dish of rice and vegetables and meat. And it's got a little kick to it because it's got the Cajun seasoning and the chorizo in it. So that is our Tuesday night kind of Cajun pork jambalaya. Hi everybody, so it's Wednesday evening and tonight we've got chicken stroganoff, so a simple stroganoff. Quick and simple. You could also do this with pork, quite easily with pork loin steaks, kind of the boneless pork chops. All I did was I took the chicken breasts, I cut them in half and cooked them in a pan with a little bit of oil for about 2 minutes on each side just to seal them. Popped those into a casserole dish, and then into the same pan added just a splash more oil, and then added a sliced onion and about half a punnet of sliced mushrooms, so about 200 grams, something like that, and a little bit of crushed garlic. I cooked that all together for about 5 minutes until the onions were nice and soft over a reasonably low heat. And then I stirred through 2 teaspoons of paprika, it's an integral part of any stroganoff, and let that just come together for about a minute until the paprika was kind of worked all through the vegetables. Then I added 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce and just let that bubble away for a couple of minutes to kind of reduce down the Worcestershire sauce. I didn't want it to be saucy, I just wanted the flavours of that into the vegetables. Then I added about 250 ml of chicken stock and let that bubble away for a couple of minutes while the flavours from the Worcestershire and the paprika got through the stock. Took it off the heat, stirred through 125 grams of sour cream, which is the other key part of a stroganoff, to give it that creamy kind of texture. Poured it over the chicken in the casserole dish, popped it in a 170 fan oven for about 20 minutes. I did about 10 minutes, then I turned the chicken breasts and did another 10 minutes so that the sauce was kind of flavouring through from both sides. So that's what we're having this evening, along with some creamy mashed potatoes and some just boiled garden peas. But quick and simple supper really. It took about half an hour to cook. from start to finish. And as I said, you could do this with pork steaks. Pork stroganoff is quite a common dish as well. You could also use chicken thighs. You could use diced up chicken if you wanted to, but it actually is quite nice with the big pieces of meat. That's mine, and that is Caleb's, and then there is another 2 chicken breasts in the pan for Toney. So off to enjoy this on a Wednesday night. Hey everybody, so it is Thursday evening and can't get much simpler than dinner tonight. We're having tacos. So I've got some mince here that I've just browned, added a sachet of taco seasoning to it and a little bit of water, just let that cook. And then we've got choice of either soft tortillas or crunchy tortilla shells. We've got cheese, I've got chopped avocado, I've got chopped tomato, I've got some lettuce, I've got jalapenos and some sour cream. And then normally we would have salsa in the fridge or in the pantry, and I don't have it in either place, so I've missed the note somewhere, probably over the Christmas madness, to stock up on salsa. So we've got some chili sauce which we'll just sprinkle over the top for Toney and me. The taco seasoning I've got is medium, so it's got a little bit of a kick to it, but it's not that spicy. It's one of the I think it's the Aldi taco seasoning mix. It might be one of the other stores. I can't actually remember which one it is. It's the Latin America one, but it's one of the store-owned, one of the major grocery chains. It's their own brand of kind of Mexican-style food, and it's called Latin America. So yeah, that is our very, very simple Taco Thursday supper. Hi everybody, so it's Friday night fish night. So tonight we've got tomato thyme cod or tomato mushroom thyme cod. So all this is some onions that I softened in a pan in a little bit of oil. I added in some chopped mushrooms, cooked it down for just a little bit longer, and then I added to that a can of chopped tomatoes, the leaves from 2 or 3 sprigs of thyme, a teaspoon of brown sugar just to counteract the acid in the tomatoes, and a tablespoon of soy sauce. And I just let that all bubble together for a few minutes, and then I put some white cod fish fillets on the top of the pan, covered the pan, let it all cook for about 10 minutes until the fish was cooked through. So you get this nice saucy, tomatoey, mushroomy sort of gravy almost to go with it. We're having that with mashed potatoes and some steamed vegetables. Now I was fairly sure Caleb wouldn't want this with the mushroom chunks and tomato chunks in it, so he's got some of these cod fillet strips, and these are the ones I got from Iceland in an Iceland haul just before Christmas, and we haven't actually tried them, but they actually look really tasty. It's these ones, 100% fish fillet strips in a crispy coating, and they actually look really yummy. So I think he's going to like those, and there's quite a lot in that bag. I can't remember how much they were. I'm thinking they were probably like £2 or something, perhaps 3 for the bag. But they often Iceland has the pricing on, but they don't. But I would recommend those because they are actually nice and crispy, and there's white flaky cod in the middle, and he'll really enjoy those with probably some ketchup, but also mashed potatoes and the vegetables the same as us. So Friday night and we're having fish. Hi everybody, so it is Saturday night and tonight we've got a stir fry. So I've got some chicken here that I just chopped into little strips, chicken breasts, and I seasoned them up with a package of seasoning, a random package of seasoning that I had in the cupboard. It was chipotle and it was kind of a Mexican style seasoning mix. Chipotle, paprika, garlic. So I seasoned up the chicken with that. Stir fried it, added a big package of the stir fry vegetables, just the ones you get in a big bag from the fresh produce area at the grocery store, and then just cooked that all together for about another 5 minutes. So there's cabbage, there's onions, there's carrots, there's corn, there's bean sprouts, all sorts of things in there. Again, it doesn't matter about blending styles of cooking. So just because I've used Mexican seasoning doesn't mean I can't do a stir fry, although a stir fry is not a popular or common Mexican dish. But there's nothing that says you can't use the flavours you want and prepare it in the way that you want. So this is a flavouring that we all enjoy, Mexican style. So I just decided to combine that with a stir fry. and especially as I was trying to clear out some things from the pantry that needed to be used up, odd little packets of seasonings that I've picked up and things like that. And then we've just got it with some ready to wok noodles that I just cooked in the skillet for like 2 or 3 minutes, and then I put some sweet chili sauce on them to give them a nice little kick, but also to sort of with the chili to keep it in the theme of the food. So bit messy. Stir fry I think always looks a bit messy on a plate, but looking forward to this because it smells delicious. So Mexican style stir fry, but with sweet chili noodles. That is mine. That is Caleb's, and we're all ready to enjoy Saturday night. Oh, I have got, to keep it Asian, I did get some prawn crackers because I wasn't really sure what kind of stir fry I was going to do. I wanted to see what I'd got in the pantry, but we will still have the crunchy prawn crackers with it. Again, if you like it, don't worry about combining, Chinese food, Indian food, Mexican food, English food, whatever you like, just combine it all together. As long as you enjoy it, it really doesn't matter. And that's kind of my theme for my approach to cooking, is if we enjoy it, doesn't really matter what we've combined and if it's not normal or if it doesn't usually go together. But I'm off to really enjoy this. Hi everybody, so it's Sunday evening and tonight we have got something a bit different. It's a savoury mince, but it's a French onion savoury mince. And instead of having it with mashed potatoes, I've got it with macaroni. So I just made my basic savoury mince mixture, which starts out with a little bit of oil, some onions and peppers, just sauteed those off for a little while. Added a package of mince. We use turkey mince, but you can use any mince for this. Let that cook until the mince was browned, and then to that I added some diced carrots, a couple of mushrooms that I had in the fridge. You can add whatever vegetables you want to a savoury mince, or whatever you've got really. And then I added a can of French onion soup. So if I show you over here, this is the one I used. You could use a packet of the powdered French onion soup mix, and in that case you'd want to add 2 cups of water with it. With this you want about 2 cups of liquid. So with this it's almost there. I added probably about not quite half a can of water in with it, and then I just let that all come up to a bubble, let that cook away for about 15 minutes to let the carrots soften. Then I stirred through 1/4 cup of tomato ketchup. You could use tomato puree, you could use passata, just want something tomatoey, and a big handful, probably about a cup of frozen peas. And then while that was all doing, I had cooked up some macaroni, and so I stirred the macaroni through it as well. I popped it all into a casserole dish, sprinkled some cheese over the top, and popped it in the oven for about 15 minutes. So it just is a different way to add some different flavour. You can use all kinds of soups for this sort of dish. You could use an oxtail soup, would be a nice thick, to give it that sort of gravy sort of texture. So it's not going to coat the macaroni. You can see the macaroni there. It's not going to coat it the same as a pasta sauce would, because essentially it's more of a gravy than a sauce. But it does all come together in really good flavours. Now you could serve this over mashed potatoes. Just stop it at the point that you serve the peas in. Just let it cook on the hob for another few minutes. And then serve it with mash, or you could do like we've done with the pasta, or you could serve it over rice. So savoury mince can be used in a lot of different ways. It's a fairly basic mixture, but sometimes it's nice to just mix it up a little bit and do something a bit different. So that is our Sunday night supper. It's French onion savoury mince with macaroni. And thank you for joining us for this week of meals. Sunday is rolled around again. And we look forward to seeing you back here on the SeeSaw soon.